All right, y'all. So here it is. So my daughter comes home from work on this particular day. I work that day, so we're both tired. So I don't really, want to be confrontational. But I had already told myself like a couple days earlier. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to have a conversation with her. Boom. So she comes home. I knock on her door. I sit in her bed, and I say, "Hey, what's going on with you?" Just like that, She's like, "What do you mean?" Already defensive, already snapping on me, already as though she knew what I was about to have the conversation with her about, and she was already ready to do what it was that she was doing. When I tell you, what do you mean? It was nasty. And I said, what you mean what I mean? I'm talking about, what we talked about, and you contributing in the house. And, I noticed that you just spending on every little thing. You got, you're not saving. You don't have a plan. So what's up with what we talked about? And still, I'm being very nice because her body language, the way she's looking, the way she's talking is already saying, bitch, get out my room, So she's like, listen, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not talking about that. I don't want to have money conversations. We're not talking about money. Like, I just feel like you shouldn't be talking about money with your daughter. That's not something that you should be talking to me about. I knew you were coming with this bullshit. So, you need to get out of my room. You need to get out. You need to get out. And that's off rip. Like, literally, before we talked about anything, really, like, in depth of anything, that's how she came at me. So, me being a mom, but me being also human, I said, hold on, pipe down in my house. Pipe down in my house. Remember, I'm your mama. You're talking to me as if I'm your friend, and I'm not. And all I'm saying is, look, to hell with the plan. We don't have to stick to the plan. We don't have to do that. That plan is to set y'all up. We don't have to do that. But what we are going to do, you're going to contribute here. You're going to pay a bill. You're not going to sit here and be taking trips to Puerto Rico and be doing this and doing that and got all these damn bags coming in and out my house and not paying not one bill, not even your phone bill. Like, I said that. She went to hooping and hollering, talking about, she's leaving. Don't worry about it. She's already been, out the door. She don't want to stay there, just going in on me. Oh my goodness, as if I was not her mom. Let me tell you, I had to tell that girl, I will grab you by your damn throat. And I love you. I'm going to love you through it. And I'm still going to love you. But if you don't show me some respect right now, you 24-year-old grown-ass girl that has never paid a bill in this house, making more money than me, and you don't even want to buy tissue. You better pipe down right now, because I'm getting, at this point, we're both just, we're too deep. So my last straw was her jumping on the end of the bed, right? On her feet, on the edge of her bed, and telling me what she's gonna do to me in my house. What she's gonna do to me in my house if I don't get the fuck out of her room.
That was deep. That was deep, and I'm gonna tag her on this video because I'm not really sure what to say. Now, we know that the government tied many parents' hands when it came to raising children, but I didn't give a damn. And that's one, coming on the heels of my 40th high school reunion, that's one of the things I could say, call it fear, call it whatever, but we were far more afraid of our parents than anything else. And not to say that we didn't bump our gums and we didn't do that stuff, but we knew an ass kicking was coming. We knew it. Because, see, there's absolutely no effing way that I would have the nerve to talk to my mother like that at 24 and expect to live or expect to have all my teeth. Because, see, again, we grew up at a time when we heard on a regular, I brought you in this world and I take you out. And our parents didn't do a whole bunch of talking. They didn't. Not a whole bunch of talking at all. And in as much as I said a lot of the things I was not going to do like my mom, and I endeavored not to do it, but when my daughter got to a point that she thought that she could talk to me like an adult, that's exactly how I treated her. And you take that for what you will. And it caused tension with us when she got older. But I kept saying, you need to quit talking. When I got to a point when I said, you need to quit talking to me, and you need to quit talking to me, and you kept talking, then that means I'm not responsible for the ass kicking that was about to ensue, especially in my house. I don't know. See, like I said, even my husband and I were talking about it the other day. We had moments where we bumped our head and thought we were going to speak, step to our parents, and then they let us know real quick, really about, before the age of 20. Before the age of 20. They let us know real quick who was in charge. And if we thought that we couldn't have, then we had to move around. But there's no damn way they was going to allow that she just talked about. No way I was going to allow it. I always end with the story because, see, we are the real F around and find out. And we got it from our parents. Say, got it from my mom, we got it from our parents. Because, see, I often say I moved back home when my daughter was about to turn 1. So I moved home. I'd had her at 27. So it was just before I turned 28. I moved back to Oklahoma because I needed some help, some family, with my support with my daughter. My mother said, you got 6 months. She wasn't badgering me about nothing. She wasn't asking me, did you find it? She wasn't doing none of that. She said, you got 6 months to get a job and get your own place. Okay? So, I say this all the time, and my mother and I never talked about it because I wasn't going to F around and find out. Had 6 months come and I didn't have a job and or a place to live, would my mother have put me and my 1-year-old child out on the street? I have no idea. I was not going to find out. I did it in 5. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.